Okay, so we're going to look at that. Let's take a look at the assignment description. You say you heard him coming? Oh, here's somebody. Here's the assignment description. It's not Nathan. We thought you were Nathan. Basically, looking at a log tool, and you're welcome to hang out here if you want, as long as you don't irritate us.
Printed off the wrong assignment, that's all.
So what we're going to do, basically, technical report format, fairly flexible. If you need help with that, look up tech report format. First of all, we can use, and I think you already have, you can use our friend ChatGPT for the first part, basically getting the tools, research these various tools. So I'm going to go ahead and feed that paragraph right there, copy. I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. I'm developing a strategy for ChatGPT, knowing that you'll be using it out there in the real world. I don't know why Firefox wanted me to restart. Might as well make use of it and show how it can be properly used. So in this case, I'm asking ChatGPT to just give me that work of researching log tools, specific list, and creating a table, and a description of strengths and weaknesses. It's up to me then to actually get some hands-on experience with those tools. So you're welcome to modify the output of what ChatGPT gives you. I'm going to put it in, of course, we need to put it in our technical report with the phrase, whenever we do ChatGPT stuff, if you don't want to be accused or suspected of plagiarism, just put that in your references below as ChatGPT. Here's the phrase I gave it, and then I built on that. So I'm going to go start my document over in my Google Drive. I think I'm logged in. I'll get myself logged in. And go to my, I'll go to cs304. And if you don't use Google Docs, wouldn't hurt to give it a try. I can create a new document, and I believe, let's see, I haven't played with this much, but I believe you can get templates in here. Let's see here. We'll call this my cs304 logging. Was assignment 11, no, assignment 13, logging tools. Well, let's see, do we have a template? We have format, theme, or template. Maybe there's not a template.
If you So I think if you go just docs, it gives you templates.
Oh, maybe there. So if I do file new, from template gallery. You know, that would be cool. If it had a technical report, look at that. It's got a simple report, essay, MLA, plateful, class notes, playful, lesson plan, simple letters. That report might be good enough. Resume, pet resume, oh of course, project proposal. I'm looking for, kind of exploring here. I haven't explored here for a while. Look at that. I'm guessing you have to pay for these other ones. I haven't tried. That report at the very top, probably. I'll start with that. I don't see one that's labeled, but let's see what that does. Zoom out. Look at that. That's a decent outline for a report. Yeah, if you want to use that. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the bottom. Let's see. They do have references here. So I will do initial. What do I call it? Initial report content, summary from chat GPT 3.5 using the phrase, let's see, phrase, and the phrase I used is that. Okay. I don't think you need to give the link to it, but there's the link. Okay, now I will copy that. Does it give me a copy button? Or do I have to drag through and copy? I don't see a copy button. Oh, is that it? I'm thinking that's it. Let's see what that does. So let's see here. I'll insert it, and let's see. We got materials, procedure. Here's some data. Maybe I'll put it in my introduction. I'm gonna paste. Oh, ugliness. Ugliness. Let's try selecting it and pasting it. Control C copy. Let's see if it comes better this way. Control V. Oh, a little better. Let's see, I can go to my table properties, I think. Table properties. And give it a border cell color. There we go. We'll give it a little bit of a border. There we go. I like that, a little better table. Now, of course, you can mess with your colors. So here I have my table. And let's take what I was asked to do and put that in my introduction. So we'll put that at the top of a report, something like this. I'll leave it to you to fill in your cover page and replace that image with something more interesting, more personal. But let's see, where's our introduction? Right here. Let's put this in our introduction. And I will do let's paste it. I think I can Control-Shift-V, we'll paste it without formatting. And we'll put here, we have that, and we'll say something like, this report provides research into or about the log tools syslog, syslog, nxlog, rslog, and journal CTL. Below is a table comparing them, each of them, and how they are used. Does it show how they are used? I guess the description that compares each of them. A table comparing each of them. You can decide how to format your sentences. It includes, I have also included a list of strengths and weaknesses of each tool. Now you can come back here and format these a little better. Looks like the numbering scheme messed up a little bit here in my copy pasting, so I can give it a reasonable cleanup there. I'll let you clean the rest of those up. Now, what we want to do, which is also our requirement, is in our assignment not only to provide a tool and now demonstrate it, demonstrate the use of the tool. So the rest of this report is basically installing and demonstrating. So let's see here. Yeah, we'll do the demo of this drill with screenshots in this report. So in this report, I'm going to put in there, I am providing screenshots of working through the use of that tool. Okay, so then back to my document. And let's see, the name just says report. Let's give that a name. cs304 assignment 13 fall cs304 f823 assignment 13 logging tools report. And so my title is going to be Logging Tools Report. Should I do all caps? I guess I will. And of course, put your name there. I'll put John Smart. Look at that. Why would it autocomplete John Marchant? What's going on?
Because that's a name you've used in
Yeah.
since that's before.
So 12.01.2023. 8th grade science. What? cs304 computer security. Certified security analyst. Now, in the introduction, I could put something in here about, something about why logging tools are important. Well, let's ask our friend ChatGPT to give us some help. Let's see here. Why are computer security logging tools important? Now you could phrase that multiple ways, and nice thing about ChatGPT, it's not terribly fussy about the syntax you give it. It says like, you're horrible, could you please explain that in a meaningful way? They take your words and they explain it. And look at that, they give you a nice explanation of why they're important. I don't think I need all of this. Here's the summary and here's the intro. Both of them would probably make a good paragraph, and they almost say the same thing. I'm going to take the summary. I'm going to copy the summary and put that in my report up here in the introduction. Control-Shift-V keeps the formatting of the target document. And since I use ChatGPT, I'll just go there in my little question. It's that simple question. Again, not to be accused of plagiarism, I can come down here and say introduction, help from ChatGPT. Phrase. As much as you can, if you're ever using AI, this not only will help you in your notes later of, hey, what did I do to get that well written? Or I messed up because he gave me the wrong answer. What did I give it for a phrase that they didn't like? Remember, you can always do this, and if you don't want to just directly copy paste, at least it gives you a start of direction of thought, and then you can always paraphrase it in your own way. It's safer to do that than you putting in your own words, add your own explanation, using it to help you with your thoughts. Perfectly fine to use it to guide your thoughts. And we should read through it to make sure it is making sense. It's maintaining a good proactive, meaning we don't just wait for something, we're watching things, actively watching. That's what proactive is. We can see the system activities, early detection, help with incident response, and meeting compliance requirements. One way it does that is by providing information for audits. Because audits always wants to look at, well, what information have you gathered about your system? How are they performing? So a decent start at that report, and now it's just a matter of testing one of the tools. And what I'm asking basically is for screenshots of the use of that tool. If it takes an installation, if it requires some sort of installation, let's just see here. Now, first of all, do I know what it will run on? Is syslog only work for Linux? So I'm going to take a stab at the very first one. Unless, can I tell from this table which one is a best one to look at? Syslog, nxlog, enhanced syslog D, syslog ng. I'm going to adjust my table a tiny bit here. Anyone looks most exciting? They all look about as exciting as the others. So I'm thinking of taking a look at syslog. And, well, has anyone already taken a look at syslog and have screenshots of it? Now, John and Seth, you want to take a look at one of the other ones here? And then we'll just share. I can just share that. Didn't I share a document with you last time? You didn't? No, that was the password manager. Let me go ahead and I'll create a document and share it with both of you. If you want to just share screenshots of yours. So I'll go ahead and I'll create a new document here. And it's just going to be called cs304 shared logging tool.
None of these are working on my Mac, even though they say Unix support.
Yeah, well, Mac is kind of its own version.
Syslog comes up with a bunch of stuff.
So if you have something that's already installed, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you, all three of you, before I forget here. So. There's Seth and Nathan Bowling. You all can be editors. And I am recording this, so if you had trouble on what I had quickly typed and pasted, you can always go back and review that. You don't have to do exactly what I did. It's actually better if you do something more original, but exploring syslog. So, John, are you exploring syslog already on a Mac?
I can't do that, or I can open up. I've got a Kali live thumb drive I can plug in.
Go ahead and explore. It's interesting what you get on a Mac. Since you mentioned it's not giving you the result you expect, go ahead and get some screenshots of that, and maybe just a short explanation of, is it not working or is it not giving you useful information? And even do a little research on what it is. So I'm gonna see if, well, Seth, what do you want to do? You want to take a look at one of these?
Yeah, I'm looking at our syslog.
Okay. First of all, I'm gonna look and see if syslog if there's any Windows version of syslog. and then I'll put screenshots in there if I find something. So I'm going to go search for syslog, and I will, let's see, for now I guess I'll leave this up here now. You can go, oh, and you should have gotten in your email a shared document. I'm going to take a look at syslog. Is there a syslog for Windows? Or is there something equivalent on Windows? Are they only having us research Linux-based tools?
Login Windows session now. Session log out.
Of course, there's sponsored links. Is there equivalent to syslog? Here's the question under Stack Overflow.
So NX log comes up as the shell command not found.
Yep, that makes sense. And then see if there's any way to install it. Do a little search for it. There may be something to install. And I guess I'd have to do a little research of what syslog does for me under Linux. It looks to me, you know, here's some syslog research. I like tables. I'm going to put in a table, insert table.
Oh, interesting. So you can install it, it looks like.
As far as I know, you can just call syslog from any process in the system to log information. I'm going to look up syslog. I think that's what it does. So syslog from this location, I'll put that in my references. I'm going to put that in my report. Here's my references for syslog. And what do I get here? I'm going to put here in my part of my research.
NX log is saying to request a trial. Community edition, here we go.
I'm going to make that a heading. And I'm going to do an MLA style reference here. This would be logicmonitor.com, which is down here in my references. So I'm just going to typical like a parenthetical reference. I'm just going to throw that at the end of my paragraph. Just to explain what syslog does. So a syslog server is basically a clearinghouse for a bunch of messages. So apparently syslog is a server that you can basically specify, if you have syslog client, to send any type of log activity you want to the syslog server. So I'm going to bold that line right there, that I can basically log activity from what I can tell, any program or script that's running, and I guess it would be mainly in when I'm starting up or shutting down or when I crash, to send a syslog to that server. That's how I understand it. At least that's how logicmonitor.com is exploiting syslog. So it's a standard for collecting log information. That's according to them. Let's see if that is what everyone else says. I'm going to go down to another Wikipedia here. Let's see what Wikipedia says after they ask for money. Again, they say it's a standard for message logging. All right, so Wikipedia gave a good summary too. I'm going to copy that as well. Copy and paste from the Wikipedia page. Right here in my explanation of syslog, Shift Control V, and Wikipedia. And I'll paste that link down in my references. So, what I need here, apparently, from what I learned so far from syslog, I need a client, and maybe, since it doesn't look like I can do anything from Windows, maybe I'll look into what it takes to set up a syslog server.
I can provide screenshots of syslog if you'd like them.
Okay. Go ahead and throw them in there, and I'll put in here, my friend Jay Marchant kindly provided a few examples of syslog usage. Now I'm guessing if you install it, does it then install a local server if you do syslog? Is that part of the install, that you have to basically you have a process that's listening for logs and storing them in one place?
It seems to be a function built into Mac OS.
I know under Linux you can go to the /var/log location and you have tons of things there listed. Let me take a look at my little friend. I have a Linux system. I think it's running right now. Let's see if it's running right now. Oh, that's a Windows system. That's the server. Let me go to my Linux system and see what I have. And Seth, which one were you doing?
I did RS log.
Is it about the same thing?
It's
rsyslog?
so it integrates Windows logs into your logging infrastructure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like it like supports like event log forwarding via syslog.
Right.
It's a little different, but it's also like something you have to pay for. So.
Oh, really? Open source. Well, according to Wikipedia, rsyslog is open source.
Oh, really?
But it's according to them, it's used on Linux. Maybe the Windows version is a pay for.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
So it looks to me like that question is leaning towards the tools available on Linux. From what I understand, you know what your main tool is on Windows is your system event logs, and there may be something that if there's something that rsyslog, if there's a Windows version that basically, like you said, consolidates the Windows event logs. Well, that would be, if you could get a screenshot, if they have a demo page, or if on their page they give you a screenshot, that would be satisfactory. If you have to pay for something in order just to get a screenshot of it working, go ahead and just take a screenshot of their
for
advertisement page.
For Windows, it's saying it's $93.
Okay. Yeah, maybe take a screenshot of the page just saying, hey, it's available. If they had a demo, that'd be nice. But if they give you screenshots from what they show without, and there's no way to actually run it without paying some money, So basically, where we're talking about tools for centralized logging, is that what they all are? Log collection, forwarding, centralized logging. So all of these packages are basically centralized logging of events, very much like a SIEM system, SIEM system, where you're gathering information from multiple systems. Here you can have a logger that apparently you can just, once you have it set up, you send information to it, and syslog is like the protocol for sending information to a central logging system. And maybe one day Windows might make system event files much more like syslog. I'm going to reduce the font in that table just so my table fits a little better. I don't need huge font. That's a little small. I'll leave it at 9 point. It makes the table a little more readable by just reducing the font a little bit. Fits on one page. So even though you do get decent output from ChatGPT, be sure that you format it nice into a nice readable format. And apparently you can't do the clipboard paste. You get some real ugly thing to paste. I have some of these other things left over from the template I'll be deleting. But what would do they ask for a conclusion? Here, let's take a look at the homework. Does it ask for a conclusion? Nope, it doesn't ask me. It's not asking you to conclude. All it's asking you to do is try to use one and demonstrate its usage. So you have some experience in, I'm going to call these fairly low-level tools that are just simply, from any program, I can send log information to a central place. This is going to take some coordination. Like you tell everyone, hey, we're using syslog. When you write a program, put a syslog into your script to send information off there, or make it syslog compatible. I'm not sure how you would actually cause the log to happen. There is a how to set up our syslog. Let's see if there's a way to set up syslog. Syslog installation Windows, if there is such a thing. Oh, PRTG, I've heard of that. Looks like a product is offered. There is a free download of a syslog analyzer. Well, I don't think I want to analyze it. I want an actual doing the syslog. But here's an analyzer I came across by just searching for syslog installation. Here's the search, syslog installation Windows, and I got this advertising, which provides a free download. I'm assuming that's a trial. I have heard of PRTG, a monitoring software. PRTG is more like a networking tool. There's a syslog sensor that they have that can receive messages from network devices and analyze their content. What sounds good about syslog is it sounds like it's been around for a while, and it's a standard protocol for sending your messages somewhere. Feels a lot like something that maybe Splunk or Zabbix will do in their own proprietary way, or maybe they're just using syslog as their main way of monitoring, and these agents that you install may just be using syslog protocol. That would be cool, making it compatible with other syslog servers. This is kind of interesting that I have for Windows this kind of summarizes what it does for me. Now, something that's we haven't talked about in this class, but you should be familiar with this with networking. SNMP is a common network protocol used by a lot of network devices for sharing information about what ports are up, what the traffic is. So perhaps I could use that protocol to gather information about my networking devices that can't have a Splunk forwarder installed on them. Perhaps this is what I need to do with lower level devices. Catch the SNMP messages. I'm assuming that's what an SNMP trap is. Let's see if I click on that. Basically, trap messages, and there's. It looks like it's the same product that they want to sell me to do that. So I'm gonna. Ooh, there's some screenshots of their syslog analyzer. Doesn't look like a bad product for syslog. I'm going to add this to my syslog research here. Put that in my little report. I don't think I need the long ugly link there. I think I can just put that. Something interesting they offer me over there is some sort of overview of my network that has been populated with syslog protocol messages. So it looks like I have to have a server going, it'll catch messages, then I can view my captured messages with PRTG. So syslog led me to PRTG when I looked for syslog in Windows. But there's a lot here. What would I put in my report? I guess I'll put this here. PRTG is offering a product. I'm going to copy and paste that into my report. One thing I'm learning about syslog is it requires a server, or it is capable, since it sounds like it's a standard protocol, to work with a server that understands that protocol. So I'll reference that as my PRTG. Since they did offer a few screenshots there, I think I'll copy paste a few of the screenshots. I think I'll do a screen capture of that piece of it. All right, snipping tool. Come get a snip of this right here, put it in my report. So the point of this is some activity you'll constantly be needing to do as you learn about new software or being asked to do research, putting it into a meaningful, logically formatted description. That's all a technical report is. It's in a nicely organized, tell what's here, and then provide information in an organized format. If there is a conclusion of from this list of items, which one looks to be the best, or one jumps out at you, or you learn, hey, syslog is fairly complex, there's server involved. I'm guessing all of these are very syslog-like. Anyone look at journal CTL yet? I'm gonna look that up. I've used it on Linux system all the time. Whenever I have a problem starting something, it says, oh, run journal CTL and see what happened. So journal CTL is a way to view and manipulate system logs. It's listed in the journal in the Unix tutorial page. So here, what do they say about journal CTL? To me, it looks like all these commands are Linux-based commands, and there's Windows-like attempts to work with it, but it feels like they're primarily for Linux platforms. And maybe Mac platform. So John, if you have any screenshots, oh, there's a screenshot from the Mac platform. What command did you run? Here we go. Oh, you just run the syslog command. It looks like all it does is provide for you all the logs from the system.
Yes, sir. Which is where something like PRTG or Phoenix Snap would come in handy, is sorting through all of that data, because there are about 2 or 3 pages of all that data.
Yeah. Let me show you my Linux system here as we finish up here. I'm going to log into my Linux system. It's on a server, so it's a... Let me go over there and get to my ESXi on Saturn. And I have a Windows system. Let's go to I know I have a Ubuntu system. There's an Ubuntu system. Okay. I'm going to connect him and show you its console. In Windows, let's see if it's viewable on this. Oh, it's decent size here. Oh, then it's changed to a smaller size. I guess I have to SSH over to it because the windows just keep getting smaller and smaller. Look at that, I drag from one window to another and it shrinks even more when I go back and forth between windows. Thank you very much.
How small you can possibly get.
It's crazy. Let's go to the I'll go to the web console. I think it'll it does let me stretch it over there. Let's see if it'll let me stretch it when I come over to this page. Oh, let's see, I have to bring this over. Maybe this will let me stretch it. Logging in. Oh, I can only stretch it from the bottom side of the page. Thank you very much. All right, now let's see if it'll come over readable on this screen. Over in Linux, I can go to a page there we go. In this location, cd var log. Under Linux, this is where I can go at the log. I can see the raw log files in any system. I don't need syslog. All I need is a Linux system they all have a var log location. And see if I ever have issues with Apache, I go down into the Apache 2.
Do you daily drive Ubuntu Linux, or what version do you usually use?
Ubuntu. So I can look on my system if I know my way around Linux and I need logs. Var log is the master location on about any Linux system. This is where you can look at specific logs from specific processes. So the advantage of this over syslog or anything is I can look at the specific messages, and I can look at the current access to my web server, look at the last 10 lines of access.log, and I see the last visits to my website from a particular location. This is coming through from my firewall. I know that's my firewall address. So my firewall, my server is being accessed from my firewall, and I will bet you it is a reverse proxy getting through to my website. Other logs, I can go up a level and see other logs related to authorization. So this feels a lot like your collection of system events under Windows, where you can look at specific things. And look, there's even a syslog folder. Let's see what's in syslog. Let's do a more of syslog. There are messages that are going to the syslog file, and notice one page is 0% of that file. So that's a very large file. ls-al of syslog star, and I see that they've grown rather large, not huge, a few hundred megabytes. When you see these files, that means they are rotating, so you don't fill up your disk. You'll only get, looks like you only get 4 of them, and then it'll rotate back. This one will be deleted the next time we restart the syslog service. So not as exciting as I was expecting, like syslog, ooh, brand new program. No, it's your basic protocol for storing messages to a central server. But if you glob them all up into one server, I'm hoping that along the way there are packages to split out the logs related to particular applications. And that's where you find, like PRTG or others will tell you what are the messages being sent by a particular process. Kind of like your system manager, your task manager. Those are essentially live information. You'd think maybe some of this is being logged somewhere, but that's a lot of information to be logging. And we are done for this week. Next week, I'll be posting basically what I'm thinking to do for like a final project is to basically go through a demo, a trial. Each of you do your own trial of Splunk, going with it, which covers a lot of the topics. And I think having some Splunk experience, because that seems to be like the Cadillac system out there for security monitoring, having a peek into it. There's even certification you can get in Splunk, and I'm wondering, would that be something we might want to offer down the road as part of cybersecurity? Is you can actually get certified in Splunk as a Splunk user, and maybe I'll go through it to see how hard it is, and maybe make like the first class part of this class. So let's get a level 1 experience with Splunk, because it seems like that's a huge package that that might look great on your resume. All right, have a great weekend.
You as well, Mr. Mack.
And if you see Nathan, give him a hug. Tell him we missed him. And I'll stop the recording. I will post the recording too in case